for 7 o'clock. John Sandler on the call there, and David Woka actually going to join us. I actually talked to him before the show. He's not going to join us in an hour and 15 minutes before the game, but we have that conversation coming up around 5:45. I got a couple of gates to get into. There's always some controversy, this gate, that gate. We love that. I'll get to it in 60 seconds. I don't want to be like, but there are times I'm like Adam Hill. Adam, we've gone through this. Adam ran in with COVID and just your awkwardness. You don't really know how to take pictures with people because you don't know where to put your hands. Women, forget it. I'm not putting my arm around a woman.
No,
it's not going to happen.
Taylor Swift radio scenario,
and that was right. It was a radio guy claiming that she claimed he was goosing her. So I don't know. So we just had Jimmy come over, who's worked at Cirque du Soleil, the Beatles show forever, and then we took a picture with him. I'll post it on social media. I looked at it. I'm like, I'm just like, ugh. That's just the look of me. It's just that noise.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Well, your smile always looks fake. It looks 100% sure.
I actually was laughing because I felt like so uncomfortable.
I've never seen a picture of you, quote unquote, smiling that looked like you were actually happy. Your smile always looks fake.
Well, this one I look high or drunk. What is God? This is a look.
The Marshawn look to you?
Wow, it's not Marshawn. I will not tear my tires off on the ride to wherever I'm going after this. All right, so we got some gates to get into.
Okay. Picture gate?
Well, you started it last week. When everyone's watching the game, the Raiders game, we're looking down at the field and we're like, why does the Raiders grass field look like all burnt out and spotty? And then I saw you explain it, that what happened.
Well, there were soccer games there.
Right.
And, while everybody else, look, I do this too, but when everybody else just makes snap judgments, I went and found a very high-ranking Raiders official and asked him.
What were the snap judgments?
The field sucks. They don't know what they're doing out there. I thought, Pro Football Talk, I thought one of the selling points was that they can go grass outside. Imagine if they couldn't. How bad would it be then? Well, first of all, the field will be brand new for the regular season. They had soccer games there. They destroyed the grass. And they were going to resod. But they said, what's the purpose resodding before a preseason game? It doesn't matter. Let's resod before the regular season when the games matter.
Right.
So it'll be a new field. They'll have it. I would be willing to bet it's going to look fantastic.
Okay, I was thinking that field we saw last week will never recover in time for September 18th. But then I also heard, hey, they can resod it. And so like you said, now we've got a situation, though. We do have Grassgate coming up this weekend because, UNLV can't play really on the day before the Raiders because they can't switch out the field trays, the artificial turf, and the grass quick enough and set up the stadium. Well, if you notice next week, on Friday night, the Raiders are playing the Patriots. At 12:30 on Saturday, the Rebels are playing Idaho State. All right, so what's the deal?
Well, I think they can go from grass to turf. They just can't go turf to grass.
They cannot.
Okay, well then I guess
they cannot.
If they're going to play in the grass, they'll probably just wait till after UNLV plays to resod it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Raiders and the Patriots will use that field that looks kind of burnt out on Friday, and then the Rebels will open on that same field. They will play on grass. They can't use their turf because they can't bring it in quickly enough.
Well, and also it can't damage it. They're going to resod it. So who cares?
Well, but for UNLV and Idaho State, the field is going to be, I would assume, kind of messy.
Yeah, just like it will be for Raiders and Patriots. Now, I'll say I asked 6 different players after the game how it was.
They didn't care.
They didn't notice it. They said when we walked out, it looked terrible. But then they were like, no, the field played fine. There was no difference.
I asked Marcus Arroyo today about, the fact that they can't play on the turf. I mean, that is a difference when you're playing, you practice on turf. You normally play on artificial turf. Now they're going to play on the grass. And I was really going down the path of like, hey, it might be burnt. Do you need new cleats? And he kind of just, it's going to be okay.
Unfortunately, we don't have the privilege to be able to get on the grass. We looked at a bunch of different opportunities to try to maybe get over there and see if we could do that. They just didn't play out as far as them being home and us being home to see if we can get on some grass. We've done that at other places, and we've not done that place. We've done over the course of your career. You've got times where you go to play a team on grass. Do you try to find a grass field? Do you not? We've got places, and for many years he played at Stanford, and you can't really do anything about it. You just got to get prepared. We'll change cleats on some of the guys that will have to play in some. They'll get used to some of those cleats as we get closer to it. But again, it's a pro surface. It's not going to be playing on, not a high school stadium. They're going to take good care of it. They play right before us, but they got to plan it too.
What kind of cleats do you use on, say, like sparse grass if it is kind of, burnt out?
Yeah, I mean, we can't prepare for, I can't prepare for burnout grass. I'm preparing the guys if we've got certain cleats for grass. We got to be able. We'll have both in there too. Okay. We'll go out early out and check them out and make sure guys are ready. We'll do the same thing at other spots, I'm sure.
Do you go into the building during the week?
Unfortunately, we can't.
You can't get in there.
You can't get in there. I was really ready to stir this up and make it into grass gate, but Arroyo wasn't having it. You just told us the field will be fine for the Raiders opener, so.
Yeah, I mean, another check mark in the most ridiculous stadium deal ever done, but sure.
And at the beginning of that, he's like, we'll be okay. I mean, we normally would try to go to some grass field, but you're not going to be able to replicate the Raiders field anyway, so it's all good.
So silly.
It's all good. I have another gate when we come back.
Well, more gates?
Well, this is
Antonio?
Raiders locker room logo gate. Uh-oh.
Cofield and Company will be back in minutes right here on ESPN Las Vegas.
Wake up with a CW and start your day with the Wagners.
Catch top stories, traffic, weather, and have a little fun, too.
Weekday mornings at 8 on the CW Las Vegas, Channel 33, Cox Cable 6.
Breaking news, top stories, your weather authority, and sports. We have it all in a fast-paced 30-minute newscast, so you can stay informed and get going with what's next. Watch the CW News at 10.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text local to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and the Las Vegas Sports Network.
Don't miss the William Hill Radio Show every Friday from 6 to 7, hosted by Paul Howard. He'll break down all the latest betting action, including the odds, matchups, and who bettors are backing the most. After the William Hill Radio Show, make William Hill Sportsbook your home for betting with live continuous in-game wagering. Get the William Hill mobile sports app, which allows you to bet from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you'll never miss another bet. For William Hill Sportsbook and mobile sports deposit locations, go to williamhill.us. That's williamhill.us.
Fantasy football isn't just a game. It's a way of life. And with the NFL Fantasy app, your life just got way better. Get all the touchdowns, fantasy points, and bragging rights all in one place. It's free and easy to play. Just sign up and draft. Optimize your lineup with one click and watch exclusive player stories. From the stars you know to sleepers who can win you your league. NFL Fantasy. We live for this. Download the NFL Fantasy app today.
I think it's very big. At the end of the day, it's the opportunity to show the world what not only I can do, but my other teammates. We want to come out there and win. I understand it's the preseason, but we treat it like it's a regular season game because at the end of the day, it's a game. It's televised. So I think it's a great opportunity for us to show not only the stuff we do at practice, but we also want to show everybody that we're a great team.
You're listening to Cofield and Company, live at the Golden Circle Sportsbook and Bar inside Treasure Island.
I swear I interviewed Amik Robertson a few years ago when he got drafted. I don't remember him sounding like that. Is that the right ID? Is that the right ID on that one? My memory may fail me. Adam's like,
I could have listened.
Not sure. I don't think Adam was listening. So we are rolling live right now. If you are up on Twitter, check it out. Live video of the show from down here at Golden Circle Sportsbook and Bar. We're also up on YouTube. We'll have to do a better job of promoting that on the Steve Cofield page. So we have limited time here. I know you would like to do this for hours. And John Von Tobel hates it.
I more want to go after John.
We'll set this up. John the other day ranted on the air about the Raiders Media Club. Like there's a little clique, and then something developed early in the week about the giant Raiders logo in the locker room and some media people stepping on it. But here was JVT in the middle of the week. I'll call them the Raiders Media Club.
So I'm glad you used that term, actually. We get it, okay? And I'm speaking to people that I've met in person, and I'd say this to their face. We get it. You cover the Raiders. Let's relax a little bit with everything.
What do you mean?
Think that Raiders locker room is open. Like, we're okay. We get it. You get to cover the Raiders. It's a lot of fun.
It's their job. It makes the job much easier. And for writers, like,
nobody cares.
I feel like you're subtweeting.
This is Jonathan Von Tobel.
I feel like you're going after an Adam Hill who's part of the company.
No,
and, you know,
I didn't see Adam
protect my people.
Okay.
So if you want to go after Adam Hill,
I'll
do it
make
directly.
this simple. If you cover the Raiders in the Las Vegas market, I'm talking to you. We get it. You cover them. The locker room's open. I don't need 20 tweets about it from 10 different people. It's ridiculous.
So you got it.
Now,
It's a running joke. It's a joke. It's like a little media joke. And then they have some players, and I guess Kenny and Drake's in on it too.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay, there's two things here.
Yeah.
So the end there, I said it was a joke about the Raiders logo and media people stepping on it and being told they have to do push-ups. We can get to that in a second. But you were irked with what? John talking about open locker rooms?
I thought John was more, because the conversation started with your question about the locker room logo thing. I thought that's what John was talking about, that we're just tweeting about the logo because as if to say, hey, we're in the locker room and you're not, which, hey, even if that's the case, I will make the argument, isn't it almost your only job to let people know? Like, people can hear press conferences and your job is to be the conduit between the locker room and the fan.
Right.
Like, you should be kind of saying those things. That's what fans don't get to see or experience. And the whole logo situation would not have been media people tweeting about it if the players didn't make such a big deal.
And
about
we played the audio of Jarrett Stidham doing an interview.
And Stidham did it as a joke.
And I that's what I thought too, because Stidham mid-sentence is like, whoa, you're on the logo.
And that was directed at Logan Reaver. Poor guy just got to the market and had dealt with that. Other players were very serious.
I didn't realize that part.
Yeah. Other players were very serious. Jarrett Stidham was joking. Other players were not. I will tell you, Kenyon Drake was not. And he kind of got silly in his tweet a little bit, but being in the room, he wanted the push-ups done.
So explain the push-up thing.
So there's giant logos on every locker room, not just in the NFL, in any professional locker room you're going to go into. And players obviously don't step on it. And anybody that is invited in the locker room, there's a very strict rule: do not step on it. Now, I've been in a bunch of locker rooms covering different sports. With the people that I was with were my coworkers. I walked in with them and I grabbed them and said, "Hey, do not step on the logo." And they're like, "Why?" And literally 5 seconds later, a bunch of reporters did it and got screamed at. And I was like, "That's why." You don't want to be in their crosshair. But this is a player-driven thing. This is not a media-driven thing. This is a player-driven thing for sure. And Andre James, one in particular, was not, I was going to say out for blood. He wanted penance.
Wow.
But he was kind of joking about it a little bit, but he said, I saw a couple guys do it, and I was like, I have their names if you want. He said, absolutely, I want those names. I was like, okay.
Wait. Now, you have been called to snitch.
That's fine. Yeah.
On our video rolling right now. You're
Absolutely.
giving lists of media people who are violators.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow, he's proud of it.
Oh, yeah. For sure. And Andre James wanted the list. Kenyon Drake wanted the list. And actually, Kenyon Drake in particular said to me, "Who's that guy?"
Oh, wow.
And I told him. And
What if that guy was a coworker? Would you not cover for him? Would you give a different name?
No.
Would you go, "Who's that guy?" That's Steve Cofield. And I wasn't there.
I would have said who? I would have said Steve Cofield.
No. I mean, if it was one of your coworkers at the paper, would you cover for him by? Ooh, okay. All right.
But I absolutely said who it was. And Kenyon Drake demanded this, called the person over by name, demanded push-ups, and said, if you can't do them, you can do them on your knees. That's fine.
I know who the person is.
Yeah.
I don't believe they can do them on their knees.
Okay. Well, the person walked away laughing, and after they left, Kenyon Drake said, "Why is he laughing?" I was like, okay. And then Kenyon Drake did tweet about it, as you saw. So this was a player.
It is their sanctuary.
This is a player-driven thing. This was not media people saying, "Hey, look how cool I am. I'm in the locker room and I can tweet about the logo." This was a player-driven thing that we were relating to fans.
Join the conversation on Twitter at ESPN Las Vegas.
When was the last time you heard anyone say, "Man, I'm excited to go to the dentist"? Well, that's because it's not very exciting, nor is it fun. But it is very important, especially if your dog